Disclaimer: this training video on effective presentation is for training and information purposes only. The techniques and recommendations presented in this video are based on general best practices and experience. Please note that individual circumstances, such as specific company policies or industry-specific requirements, cannot be addressed in detail. The information contained in the video is not a guarantee of success in presentations and does not replace the need for individual preparation and practice. The content reflects the opinions and experience of the creator and makes no claim to completeness or accuracy in all situations. The creator accepts no liability for any direct or indirect loss, damage or inconvenience that may arise from the application of the content presented in the video. For detailed advice or special requests, please contact us at contact@xprts4xlnc.com. All content shown in this video is protected by copyright. Any reproduction or distribution is only permitted with our written authorization. Welcome to Part 6 of the Effective Presentation Training. In this part we will cover the subject of presentation design. This video tutorial is an extract from our one-day classroom training on the same topic. It is in the nature of online video training that it cannot replace classroom training due to the lack of interaction possibilities. So if you would like more in-depth training, please contact us at contact@xprts4xlnc.com. This training module consists of 8 parts, each lasting between 5 and 20 minutes. At the end of each part, you will have time to reflect and make your own notes on the respective part. We hope you enjoy the training. At the end of the course, you know the methods for creating different forms of presentations in professional situations, both within your company and towards customers. You have an overview of the targeted use of presentation media and design elements as well as the preparation and visualization of data. You know about the possibilities of storytelling and how to convey your messages to the audience in an emotionally appealing way. You have an understanding of the effective use of voice, gestures and body language and understand the effect on how others perceive you. Now let's get started with the presentation design. In this section, we discuss the basics of presentation design. We will not only look at style and font, but also the structure of presentations and the use of colors, shapes and fonts. Presentations are often overloaded with too many elements and thus become confusing. Too many colors are also often used. And often too many different fonts are used. These are all mistakes that can be made in presentations. The rule here is, less is more. The following sentence has been handed down from Steve Jobs. Simplicity is the highest sophistication. If you look at Apple's website, which is also a form of presentation, you will find this sentence confirmed. Colors, fonts and other stylistic devices are used very sparingly. This makes the appearance very catchy and pleasant. However, it should be noted that the sense of taste can be very different in different cultures. In Asia, people have a much greater tolerance for many different colors and fonts. Let's now talk about the attention span of your audience. The attention span of the listener is greatest at the beginning and at the end. Therefore, special emphasis must be placed on these two phases. Opening. Start your presentation with one of the following elements to gain full attention of your audience from the first moment. A question, in the direction of the recipients. A fact, with surprising findings. A review, or a look into the future. An anecdote, with personal reference. An aphorism, of far-reaching acceptance. An analogy, to illustrate a point. At meetings, to clarify the objective. Towards the end, do the following. Summarize the most important points. Repeat the message. If follow-up activities have been agreed, record these in writing and visualize them on a whiteboard or flip chart. Now let's talk about things that you should avoid. The 5 deadly sins are: no clear message, no benefit for the addressees, no logical sequence, no recognizable common thread, too detailed, too much text, too long. And now let's have a look at what should be done in any case. If you have a lot of slides, use an agenda or a frame to show completeness. Have a supporting structure. Use separating slides to separate individual sections from each other. Make sure that the action titles tell your story fluently. Check this by reading only the action titles. Use statements rather than labels for diagrams. Example: European sales almost tripled between 2010 and 2020 instead of European sales 2010 to 2020. Design the font size so that everything is still easy to read even from the last row. Avoid 3D diagrams. Let's move on to the design elements. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but even if everyone has a different sense of taste, a few general rules apply. Font. Choose fonts that are within the general taste of the culture and are considered reputable. No gimmick fonts such as Comic, Bradley Hand, Brush Script, etc. Do not use more than 2 different fonts and use them systematically. Font size so that legibility is guaranteed on the one hand, and on the other hand the slide does not become a picture newspaper. Colors. Stay within the color scheme of the presentation template or corporate ID. Nevertheless, do not use more than a maximum of 3 colors. Variations of these, for example shades or gradients, are fine. Animations. Animations are fine if they serve to build up the message of the slide. Nevertheless, they should also be used sparingly. Above all, the type of animation should remain as consistent as possible. You do not have to try out all the animations of your application in a presentation. Language. Pay attention to correct language, orthographically and grammatically. Avoid buzzwords or slang. Pay attention to the tone of the language. Pictures. If you use photos, make sure that they are sharp. Always cite a source for image material or ensure that no copyright is violated. Make sure that no personal rights are violated when using your own photos. And finally, when in Rome, do like the Romans do. Be aware of cultural differences. Different cultures respond differently to formats or messages. In Asian countries, many different colors and fonts are permitted within a presentation. Use enough red for a Chinese audience, but never blue. If possible, avoid the number 4 with a Chinese audience. Always adhere to the protocol for Asian audiences. Greeting: no handshake, just an implied bow. Handing over the business card with 2 hands and reading out the title of the other person out loud. In Chinese groups, the highest ranking participant always sits furthest away from the door. Now lean back and think about your 3 key findings from this block. Write them down. Congratulations for finishing this 6th module of the course. Reward yourself and take a break. We will see you back in Module 7.